Welcome to a world where precision meets passion, where rolling landscapes can become arenas of skill, and when a ball hits a club can become a moment for an unforgettable journey. Now, it may be a surprise to some, given the effects of COVID-19 and the cost of living crisis, but the number of people participating in golf has been on the rise. Data from Sport England shows that 10.4% of the population participated in golf from 2021 to 2022, up from 7.9% the previous year and the highest it's been from 2018 to 2019. And over 1.1 million more people participated in golf from 2021 to 2022 compared to the previous year. Further data from the R&A, one of the leading bodies in the world of golf, recently announced global participation figures show an additional 10 million adult golfers are playing on the course worldwide since 2016. The report also highlights that 61.2 million adults have engaged with the sport in some format, such as par 3 golf, indoor simulator and driving range use. Now, one man who is no stranger to amateur golf is Mark Ely. Mark runs a website called the Golf Bible, which is the home of British and Irish amateur golf. I was lucky enough to have a chat with him at this year's Amateur Championship.
Well, about 10 or so years ago, I decided to take an interest in amateur golf, and I realised that many different organisations were running events, and therefore it seemed logical to start to bring everything together into one place. So the website and the Twitter account just facilitated a consolidation of a fragmented marketplace.
So in your opinion, then, what is the current state of amateur golf, do you feel?
I think amateur golf is still in a pretty strong place. There are plenty of events for young players to participate in, which provides that pathway to the professional game. The challenge increasingly is that everybody wants everything yesterday, and therefore more and more young players are turning pro at a young age. So now it's increasingly unusual to see anybody playing amateur golf beyond 25, really, and increasingly a lot of people are turning pro at 20.
So do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think in some cases it's a good thing if you are a particularly good player and got to a very high level at a young age. You can come to the end of your sort of lifetime in amateur golf. But for other players, it would be definitely to their benefit to have a bit more experience of top quality championship golf before turning pro.
And do you think the wider community of golf anything to increase participation at all, do you think?
I think participation obviously had a big boost during COVID, where golf was one of the winners, really. And I think definitely clubs can do more to increase participation in golf. They're still viewed by a lot of people as being snooty and very private places, not particularly welcoming. And the old public courses, which were the first steps for many people to play golf, have found it hard over the last 25 years to remain in business due to the economics of managing a golf course and the pressure on public finances.
So would you say that's, for someone hopefully watching this that may have just started playing golf, is that a good place for them to start at the more local places?
Yeah, I think if you've never had any experience of golf before, then it's always a good idea to turn up at your local private club and try and seek a lesson with the professional there to get the basics right. Once you've got the basics, see how welcoming and opening that particular club is, and also investigate the public courses that are open to you. And obviously nowadays, a big part of getting into golf is the ranges that have popped up all over the country, which is an easy way to just hit some balls without worrying too much about where they're going and having to go and find them.
Now, there are many places up and down the country that people can visit to get into golf for the first time. But the one place that stood out for me was a little driving range called Boomers and Swingers just outside Manchester. So I decided to give them a visit. I'm joined by Nick, owner here at Boomers and Swingers. Nick, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, thanks for coming.
First of all, how did this place come about?
This place came about because for many years I've been working in golf. I spent a bit of time in Spain, Lithuania, Ukraine, Russia, and I've always thought that there's different ways to do things. So whilst I worked on high-end golf projects, at the back of my mind I always wanted something for myself. And when my time in Russia came to an end, we did a European Tour event, we filled a membership, we were doing things differently, we were having fun on the course. So what I decided to do was leave well and come back and buy my own place and do something a little bit different.
And if you could sum up this place, how would you do that?
Sum up this place, it is staff having fun, customers having fun, whacking balls at tanks and metal objects.
So
really what we're trying to do is get the experience of the place, not linked to your golf ability. That's the key to the whole thing, because golf's a really difficult sport, and regardless of whether you go top tracer, trackman, you're playing a 9-hole course, you're playing a pitch and putt, your experience is still linked to how good you are at golf. Whereas here, you can hit a really bad shot and be aiming at the skip, hit the ball at a tank, you've done well.
Yeah. And what sort of, I noticed at the front you do sort of different events and things. Tell us more about that.
It's just a way of getting different people into, in fact, create a product that suits a particular type of person. So one of them is mate and date night. So Friday and Saturday nights we have the bays where it's £30, you get unlimited balls, you bring your own alcohol, bring your own beer. And we've targeted that just for women. They're the ones who choose where the date night will be, and that's just come from, my wife would say she chose our date nights.
Sort of a different setup in each section. So you've got obviously the bays over there, we've got these mats here, and then sort of the grass over there.
Yep.
So what different people are you trying to target?
This is where it's quite interesting. It's luck. Things just happen. You make decisions, you see if they work. If they do, you carry on with them. If they don't, you just change them and do something else. And sometimes the opposite of a good decision is also a good decision, or it's a good idea, let's say. So we started and we had 15 bays, and we tried to fill those 15 bays with the different types of people. And did it work? Yes. And then we started doing grass tees, and we went, wait a minute, there's nowhere to hit off grass for golfers out here. So if we create a place for them, they might feel better hitting off grass. And then we had this like hybrid, weird group of people who came in who were like, well, we want to be outside, but we don't want to hit off grass. And we were like, well, chuck some mats on the floor then. And now it's quite strange. There is a clear demographic of people who go over there, clear demographic who come here, and the people who are inside the bays are just the ones who go, we want a traditional like driving range experience, let's say.
Well, so there's been a lot of talk about how more people are playing golf nowadays. Is that something you've noticed since you've opened here?
Our trend from day one has always been positive in more people coming through the door. COVID obviously helped that, but a lot of the strategies that we had in place already were taking away the artificial barriers for people to come. So we made the pricing very simple. We gave free club rental. We told people they didn't need to book. Everything was just as easy as it could be for people when they came here.
Now, when it comes to elite amateur golf, there is no better place than the Amateur Championship, and I was fortunate enough to be there at this year's tournament.
Merseyside once again emerges as the ultimate spotlight, captivating audiences with hosting Eurovision to now commanding the attention of the golfing world. Next month we'll see Royal Liverpool host the 151st Open, but for now it's time for Southport and Ainsdale. And here at Hillside Golf Club, 2023's Amateur Championship.
Many of the great players of history played in this championship and won this championship.
The standard is amazing. The whole field this week looked really good to me.
It's great to see all the best amateur golfers in the world come and compete and see how they play the course, all the different strategies. So yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a competition like no other. You turn up and you feel borderline celebrity, you feel like you're a pro.
You at Hillside?
Yeah, Hillside yesterday. Yeah.
So what sort of challenge
do both of these courses play for an amateur?
Well, they're both top quality links courses. They both have the sufficient yardage to provide a challenge, both around 7,000 yards, which is now the sort of minimum that elite amateurs and professional golfers require to challenge, given how far they hit the ball and the ability they have. And they have a good selection of top quality holes, par 3s, par 4s and par 5s, and the players enjoy coming and playing these courses.
288 players from 39 different countries from across the globe have entered the event. The first stage of the competition will see each competitor play 18 holes of stroke play over both courses. The players with the 64 lowest scores and ties will then proceed to match play, which is exclusively played at Hillside. Southport and Ainsdale Golf Club was founded in 1906 and is ranked inside Britain and Ireland's top 100 courses. The golf club hosted the 1933 and 1937 Ryder Cup between Great Britain and the USA. In 1937, after the US earned their first victory on British soil, Captain Walter Hagen said that he just had the greatest golfing thrill of his life.
Well, it's a links course. It's tricky, maybe not too long, but it's like most links courses, you're relying on club selection, a bounce, sometimes landing it short of the green, and then tricky pin positions. So there's lots of different things to think about.
And what sort of preparations has the club gone through in terms of preparing for the tournament?
A lot, really. Since probably 12 months ago, we've known it was coming here, and the club has done lots of things all around the course, around the clubhouse. There's lots of volunteers involved, catering, different hours, long days. So it's more than just a golf tournament. It's sort of looking after people and making sure everything's where it should be at the right time.
What, in your opinion, what state is the amateur game in at the moment, do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been watching a bit this week, particularly on the practice area and on the course. The standard is amazing. I used to play amateur golf, and the standard was good at the top level, at the top end, but not so much in depth really. But I think the whole field this week looked really good to me. So, you know, the top players have always been good, but player sort of 200 or 250 is exceptional now. The ball striking, the distance, the professionalism is much more than it used to be really.
Someone watching this that's literally just started playing golf or thinking about playing golf, what advice would you give for them?
I'd say definitely come and watch. Watch good players. You can pick up a lot from their rhythm and balance and the way they approach the shots. It's a very difficult game to learn, so sometimes you can watch good players and you think maybe it's a bit easier than it is. It just they make it look easy, but it is a great game, and it's done well since COVID really. People have gone into the game to play it for exercise, and it's competitive, so you know it is a different level at that end of the game, but get into golf.
It's a fantastic honour for us to host the Amateur Championship for the third time. It's great to see all the best amateur golfers in the world come and compete and see how they play the course, all the different strategies. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Ranked 51st in the top 100 courses in Britain and Ireland, Hillside has been home to prestigious championships over the years, including the Women's Amateur, British Masters and Brabazon Trophy. What state is amateur golf in at the minute, do you feel?
I think it's fantastic. The levels seem to just keep going up and up in terms of performance. I mean, I've watched a little bit of the golf this week, and some of the shots that you see are absolutely brilliant.
Quite hard to prepare for, given how many rounds of golf.
Yeah, it's definitely a test of endurance as well as ability. Obviously, it's 2 rounds a day once you get into the match play phase. Yeah, it's a long week. Yeah, but one that I'm sure they'll enjoy and relish.
On the tee from the Berkshire, John Goff.
Start off with, could I take you back to yesterday?
Yep.
How were you coming off at SNA? Because I feel like it was a bit of a
Yeah,
difficult one.
Yeah, tough finish, but it was birdie finish on 17 and 18, which aren't really easy holes around there. But yeah, delighted to just get over the line and not have to play this morning as well as some of the 3-unders did. 4 under, I knew I was 3 under. I thought I was safe. 4 under, I knew I was definitely safe. So it was a massive relief, and then it turns into a complete different thing. Now it's weight off my shoulders, and it's just play everyone as they can.
And did you realise at one point, I think it was through 10, that you were 1 shot off the cut?
Yeah,
as well?
I knew I started bad. Don't worry about that.
What was going through your head at that point?
Just to stay patient and let everything. I lipped out a load on the front line, and I just wanted to make sure I stayed patient, had things in my mind all good and clear that I would be able to finish strong. So it happened, and hopefully we can take it on to the rest of the week now. I played okay around here. I just kind of stuck to the same game plan. I think you can blast driver in a lot of places, but you can also get into trouble with it. It's a course where you have to be very smart and take your risks at the right time. But no, it's just playing your opponent. You don't have to play the golf course anymore, so it's just 1v1 rather than 1v287.
If someone was watching this and they were thinking of entering for next year, what advice would you give them?
Definitely. I'd definitely enter, because it's a competition like no other. You turn up and you feel borderline celebrity, you feel like you're a pro. They treat you so well here, you play fabulous courses. And also the players you get to play with, even if the week doesn't work out well for you, the players here is a world-class field. So I would definitely recommend it to everyone. But when you do get here, stay patient, because links golf is a challenge. Yeah.
Just for someone that may be watching this that might be thinking of entering the tournament next year, what advice would you give them?
Rest up.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, long week so far, and there's still a few rounds to go, so you don't need to overdo it in the practice rounds, just need to know what you got to do, and then just stick to what you've got to do. You don't need to over practice, because once you get in the rhythm of the week, it's a long week.
And just last question, just talk us through that eagle on 14.
Yeah, so it landed on a perfect number. I was just on the left side, it was downwind, and I had to hit like a 85-yard shot, and as soon as I hit it I was like, oh, it's perfect, because I knew with the downwind it was going to skip forward off the front edge, and it spun, and then last roll dropped in, so it was pretty cool.
Like many of the players, it wasn't meant to be this year for John Goff and Frank Kennedy. In the end, the final came down to Christo Lampret of South Africa and Ronan Klue of Switzerland. In front of large crowds on a glorious day, a 3-2 victory in an exciting 36-hole final to lift one of the most prestigious trophies in the amateur game came down to only one winner.
Thank you, Christo, for joining us. You're the amateur championship winner. How does that feel?
Yeah, it kind of feels amazing, I'm not going to lie. I couldn't be more happier. I kind of played really great golf from start to finish this whole week, and I couldn't be more happier standing here.
Back-to-back wins now from you guys in South Africa. What's your secret?
I guess we just love playing links golf, I think. We kind of very creative golfers in general, and we like kind of playing around and imagining golf shots, and out here you can do that. And I think it just plays to our strength.
And to take you back to yesterday, that putt on 17 against Frank, how important was that? Because I feel like since then, the momentum's been all your way.
Yeah, for me, honestly, the momentum started when I drove the green on 18 to get into the match play. But yeah, that was an amazing putt. I was behind that whole match, and I kind of needed to make that to have an even remote chance to win this game. And I did, and it's kind of, those are the things that happen when it's your week.
And how important in general do you feel the amateur championship is to the whole game of golf?
Yeah, it's got such an illustrious history. I mean, it's probably one of the oldest amateur or even golf trophies in the world. So there's so much history behind it, so many names on that trophy that I'm a part of now, and I could not be more happier to be part of that history.
Qualified now for next month's Open Championship. How much are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking stupidly forward to it, I'm not going to lie. I haven't even given real thought to it, to be honest, but I cannot wait. And I'm obviously going to take a little time off right now. I've been playing a lot of golf, but I cannot wait, yeah.
Someone watching this that may be entering for next year, what advice would you give them?
Oh, I would just go out there and have a good week and not let anything kind of get in your way. Anything can happen in golf. Once you reach the match play, anyone can beat anyone, to be honest. So just go out there, play bold, and play fearlessly.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Christo Lampret puts himself into the history books, and you never know, I might be interviewing you one day after you've won the amateur championship.